This week, some Outdrive work along with installing the bilge pump. Alright, so during this past week, I found a motor and Outdrive for sale. So I went by and picked it up. I was 90% sure I had an Alpha 1 Gen 1 outboard, and I do. So this is my old one. You notice the stag is in pretty good shape, the bottom's in pretty good shape, and so is the propeller. The upper part of this housing is broke. Big chip missing off of it, and I was thinking about re-welding it and calling it good, but I now have a new upper. I also have spare rams and more spare parts in general, which is nice. So I kind of plan on taking this lower part off and putting it on the new upper part, if that makes sense. And then we'll finish doing this. I'll show you the new one right now. So this is what I bought. It's the same motor, a 170. Looks like the same Outdrive. This has been taken apart to a certain degree. You can see that some of the bolts here are off. Pretty weak boat frame, I would say. Not real cool, but anyways. It has the upper riser that I had to pay like 200 bucks for on Craigslist, or not Craigslist, eBay, that they didn't even ship the one that was listed, so I'm not at all happy with it. And then I get this one that looks like it's in good shape. This comes with more steering. It also comes with a new throttle slash control. Different than mine, but mine is all apart and I think I'm missing pieces. This is the Outdrive. You'll notice the stag is kind of beat up. It's missing the prop, but this upper unit is in good shape compared to mine. Mine is bent right here, or broken right here. So the new one's in good shape. But like I said, I now have extra rams. I got a lot of decent spare parts. I just really wish I didn't buy that other one, because this one looks good. I will say, I'm not at all thrilled seeing all this, but this motor was cheap. Certain little stupid parts like this cost a fortune, and I now have a bunch of spares. Alright, I'm going to be replacing that float switch and that bilge pump. I got, I believe, to be duplicates of both what I had before. I got my soldering shrink fit connectors. I just got shrink wrap that I like to put even over that just to make sure it double does it. I'm bringing some zip ties up and some loom, the heat gun, stripper, crimp tool, which I don't think I need because I don't bring crimpers. So I'm gonna do that. I also got to fix this black and red or pink line. That is for the sending unit on the gas tank that's under here. So I'm going to get that done today. Steering gear looks a lot like what I have, so that's good. That second one, so looks like we're pretty close to just being able to put this back together. I'm missing that little red rubber washer. Looks like there should be one on that side too. Not sure where it is. I see the bolts on top. Maybe it's there. So before I drop the motor, I gotta make sure that's right. Those two wires here go to the back of the motor for a ground strap. I got some batteries. I'll hook the batteries up and make sure everything works before I drop the motor in. That's if I can get these switches here to work correctly. Damn, that other handle looks a hell of a lot different than this. I guess I have to figure that out. The other one was 5 wires. This is 4. That's a difference. Maybe I will have to see if I can get this all back together. So I went to take this off and that just came right up. Looks like it was glued, probably resin epoxied right to the floor. This is saturated with oil, gunk, and whatever the fuck. I plan on using that grinder, cleaning the bottom, using JB Weld to weld the two together. I'll verify, but that should be good for wood and other stuff. I've used it on everything. I'm not going to use this wood because it's completely oil saturated, so ain't nothing going to stick to it. I should use a marine grade type wood. If I have it, I will. If I don't, actually, I got pallets throughout my yard, and I know there's hardwood pallet wood out here somewhere, and that stuff will be perfect. So I'll cut a little chunklet and build something just like this. I was going to take this apart. Now I'm not even going to bother, since I'm not going to use it. Actually, I may need the stainless steel screws. Whatever, I'll worry about that in a minute. It is stupid hot in here. I'm in the shade. It's 100 degrees outside, but it's stupid hot. There's like no flow. I'm thinking I'm going to get a fan mounted about there on top of that pallet so it blows right into here. It gives me at least some ventilation. But right now I go find a piece of wood. See if I know I got stainless steel bolts somewhere, probably in the other boat. I need to find some stainless steel wood screws, or I'll take this apart and use them. But I need to find a wood and clean that off. I'm going to use that brake cleaner. Make sure that's a good dry surface in order to mount the next piece of wood. Alright, that's where we're at. I start with soldering and heat shrink connectors. Then I put heat shrink over the positive lines to give it a little bit more insulation. And then I use heat shrink on both to connect the two together. Alright, I got the second coat of my little plywood piece that'll hold the pump and the float switch. All varnished up with that stuff. Both sides, I'm on my second coat. While I've been doing that, I also have the new Outdrive taken apart, which I think I'm using my lower end and this upper end, because that lower end's pretty tore up on the stag. This one looks in pretty decent shape, so I'm going to use it. I still got to count the splines and making sure we're good there. I took it off my new used boat part. It definitely got some corrosion, but it doesn't look too bad. So that's where I'm at now. It's probably close to 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go inside and take a break. I already rewired the, or not rewired, but I connected the wires for the fuel sending unit, so that should be good. I'm getting really close. Today is Saturday. I'm not going to rush myself, but I really want that motor in tomorrow. But if it's not ready, it's just not ready, and it's just not worth doing it wrong. I used my big ass table with a 1-inch thick flat top, big 1-inch thick plate of steel, the bolt to hold these two things, to grab the Outdrive and keep it stable while I take it apart. I did screw up, because you know that's what I do. I used this big bastard to punch this anoid bolt out, and now that I look at it, I should have had left it alone. It stays in there just like that. You tighten down the stag and you leave that in alone. But I was like, oh, it needs to come out, right? So I used this punch, and I didn't hit it hard, but I popped it out, which broke the little hole into a big hole, because I'm stupid sometimes. I don't think it'll be a big problem. Just stupid, I guess, whatever. Other than that, I think it came apart pretty well. I said I'm not using this piece because I'm not happy with beat up ass bent stag. I do plan on using this upper piece because my wing right there is broken. So hopefully that'll work out well for me. We'll see. That's where we're at the moment. JB Weld on the bottom of the wood, and then I use this big weight to hold it down while it cures. From inside the boat, with no visual, I tossed my little mixing tray for the JB Weld and the popsicle stick out at different times, and it landed inside. That's cool. But I don't need the dog to eat it, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to let that set up. I put probably good 3 or 4 pound piece of steel, say that 5 times fast, on top of it, and I'll let the JB Weld cure overnight, and then I'll finish wiring it up. And I think that's it. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how I'm doing the switch yet, or the handle, throttle control, shifter level, forward, reverse. The one I got with that other motor is a little bit different. I need to carry this over, then inspect them both and see which one I really want to use. This has a plug. God damn it, I really wish I didn't break that other one. That was just stupid. Whatever. Live and learn, I guess. This one's corroded but not broken. The propeller looks fine. I thought this thing was in forward. That should be forward. It's not doing what it's supposed to. Like I said, I'm kind of glad I got that other piece. I'll be able to pick and make a good one out of both. So, I think that's where I'm leaving it for today, because it's still stupid hot out here. I guess I could put in the the floorboard, but I think the first time I take it out, I don't want that in there, so I can double check for gas leaks, leaks in general, be able to see what's going on. So I may leave that out. So this is the rubber boot. You can see big chunks are missing. It definitely got wicked hot. It's really thin right here. This is the one that came off my boat. It's really stiff. It still has a lot of the rust on it. I could probably clean off. Would you see that little bubble? It's about to do the same thing. So where the heat riser, which I just took off, goes down from this 4-inch to looks like a 3-inch, it definitely puts extra heat at the reducing area. Actually, you can see some bubbling and cracking right there. So before I put this motor back on, I gotta order one of those. It'd be stupid not to do that now, because, well, I took this all apart, but it's got to go from here. There's another coupling, and then little brass thing or aluminum thing, and then it goes in here. I got to check this one here on both, but for sure the reducing one needs to be switched out. This motor here, because this was off this motor, this donor motor, this one here looks like it really may not have been aligned well. It's all squished, or at least mine looks like it was mostly aligned okay. Now, to those who watched my other video, my other boat, I had two 3-inch risers on it, and they were both leaking the first time I took it out, and damn near pumped water right into the boat and sunk it. We had to bust the UE real quick, turn around, and load her up before she sunk. I ordered both the upper and lower heat riser couplings, along with the impeller, because I ordered a Gen 2 by mistake. Alright, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing half the time, which is true. But the rebuild I got or ordered from eBay for the Alpha 1 Gen 1 was wrong. But it says Alpha 1 Gen 2, so it's not their fault, it's mine, 100%. This is the one that came out of my boat. I have it here now too. I think I'm definitely more on board with this one than that one. For now, this is the top half. I'm definitely switching to that top half. I'm pretty sure I'm using my bottom, but we'll see. Haven't 100% decided that yet. I'm running some ATF fluid here because it won't come apart. I'm gonna let it sit and soak overnight. See if I can get it off. I did learn. I'm leaving that bolt in there. Alright, so I have the 3 front bolts loose, 1, 2, and 3. The 3 back bolts, which are under here and one here, they're all loose. The front's actually pulling apart, as you can see. The back is refusing to move. I let it soak yesterday with ATF fluid upside down. I flipped it back over today, hoping it would just magically come apart. I guess that's hoping a little bit too much. Not sure what else I can do to force this thing apart without breaking shit. Looking at the bottom of the other one, which is right here, I got that bolt done and that bolt done and this bolt off. I'm wondering if it's this little guide pin is like stuck, but it doesn't seem to I don't know. It doesn't seem to have a real good reason why it won't come apart. So yeah, this all sits flush. So it goes in that little hole here, that little post on the other side. There's no gasket. I mean, I guess there could be corrosion around this. Actually, that feels... I don't know if you can hear that. That feels kind of rough as it is. So maybe a little heat. Maybe. Definitely looks like water gets up here, right? Let's try that. Applying heat worked. I did squish my finger though. Okay, this is the throttle control and shifter control from the donor motor. Definitely a 5-wire system compared to mine. I also don't see where you can just do throttle. You push here, you're in gear, you give it gas. See, both move just fine. But how do you just do gas? That's the question I have. It's got, I think it's got trim and trim, and all the buttons feel like they work. I don't know if it's just redundant or what, but I don't know why it has 5 wires compared to my 4. So, question of the day is, will this work in replacement of the one I have? Because the one I have is definitely missing buttons. So I'm ending this weekend thinking I have to buy a new throttle controller for the boat. Please like, subscribe, and comment.